there, my name is Jordan Leroy Hansen, also known as LevDev, and spoiler season has started for the Guilds of Ravnica, and we're going to get to that pretty shortly. But for first, I kind of want to make a short mini video covering kind of an interesting promotion that they've been doing, which leaves many people kind of 50-50 on the issue, even me. Now, they're bringing back masterpieces again, which for those of you who are new to Magic and don't know what a masterpiece is, essentially what happened is, in the past, in sets such as Kaladesh and also the Amonkhet block, ironically the ones that are rotating out, they offered a thing called a Masterpiece, which is like one card in a pack in like a case or something like that. Like, the odds were very rare to pull what was essentially a very rare promo card that had alternate art, it was foil, and it pretty much, there was a list of cards they made promos out of. Like, during the Amonkhet block, they did Invocations, which focused more on very powerful spells and even cards from the set, and give them all kind of an Egyptian hieroglyphic. Some even said hard to read, some say it was fine to read, depends on who you ask. It pretty much catered the card art to the overall style and made it highly stylized. In the Kaladesh block, they did a thing called Inventions, I think is what they called it, if I remember right off the bat. But essentially, they were powerful artifacts throughout the history of Magic, like Ensnaring Bridge is one I can think of right off the bat. Aether Hub, or not Aether Hub, blah. Aether Vial, that's what it is. Aether Vial, etc., etc. And now we're going to get one for I was going to say Dominaria, but not really, since, well, we are actually going to get one during the Guilds of Ravnica block, which is Planeswalkers. And boy, did they provide some powerful Planeswalkers as masterpieces. Like, some of them are kind of like Elspeth Knight Errant. First of all, great art. Now, this is probably the less popular of the Elspeths that are used in Commander, but still, this is one that still sees a little fringe play. The art is gorgeous. Teferi, Hero Dominaria. Okay, let's be frank, people play with Teferi a lot in Standard. I think it's enough said, yeah, this is a powerful card. And it's great to see the alternate art on this as well. Also, there's cards that are going to be from the Guilds of Ravnica block, aka Ral Izzet Viceroy. I already said my 2 cents on that when I was talking about the Path Spoiler blog. Liliana the Last Hope, which is a very popular card in Modern. It also does see some fringe Legacy Eternal format gameplay and such. Very powerful Liliana from the Eldritch Moon, that's what was the set name, from the Eldritch Moon block. There's still some people that were a little upset because they were hoping that the Liliana in this would have been like Liliana the Chain Veil. Understandable, but this is still an option that's not bad to have a reprint of, since we have multiple reprints of the Chain Veil. Really, we only have one printing of Liliana the Last Hope, so I get the logic. It's also the same logic why we have Duretti in Genius Iconoclast, I think is how you pronounce that. Yes, we know, people want the red Duretti, the one that was from the Commander decks, but that went through multiple printings as well. And this one only went through one printing, which was in the Conspiracy Take the Crown set, so it's understandable why this one got a reprint. Plus, the art on these are both really good. And the last one they did show up, the last two they showed off before, I guess I should say this right off the bat, the one they didn't show us yet that's going to be from this cycle is the new, I am forgetting her name, green black, Vraska, that's what it is. Wow, brain fart on that one. The new Vraska from the upcoming Guilds of Ravnica. They're going to wait about another week, is what people said, before they show off that. So it's going to be a card in the set, and it's also going to have this Masterpiece treatment. The last two, though, is Nicol Planeswalker. Very popular in Commander. People like to play this card a lot if they are playing Gritz's control-style decks. And also Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas. See some fringe Modern play in very specific decks. It's a very popular card. Now, the way they're going to go about this is a little peculiar of how you access this. Originally, as I mentioned before, the Masterpieces were kind of like very rare cards that you could open from a box in the original sets that they came from. Like, you could get it in a random Kaladesh pack, or you can get it in a random Hour of Devastation pack, etc., etc. It was very random, the chances of pulling them were very hard, but they were pretty much a joyous occasion to pull one, and hey, you got something for your collection and such. Now, the way they're going about this is interesting because these are actually all going to be in a separate product that Wizards is providing. The product itself is kind of like they call it the Mythic edition of Guilds of Ravnica, and basically amounts to this. It's $250 for essentially getting 24 packs of Guilds of Ravnica with either I can't remember if they said it was 8 additional packs or if it's 8 of the same packs, which will be specifically marked to note that these are the cards that are in them. And yes, you're going to get all of them. So you're going to get one Elspeth, one Teferi, one Rao. They're going to be in those packs so that people can draft with them and not be like, oh, one guy actually get all of the Masterpiece ones. No, you can design your draft format where like each person gets one of the quote unquote Masterpiece packs, and also just the other two being normal packs of Guilds of Ravnica. Now, I'm going to first say my opinion of the product alone without how they're distributing it, because that's a whole nother can of worms. But the product itself, I actually think it's Wizards one of their more legitimately the black brain fart. It's one of their more legitimate, ethical ways they actually distribute this type of promotion that I kind of seen in quite a while. To be honest, while the invocations were really nice and the masterpieces were really nice, the problem is I've seen so many people like opening boxes and boxes and boxes, hoping they pulled the one card they want that was a masterpiece, and having the other disappointment that they pulled something that was not relevant into a collection or was not a card they used in any formats they played. And I think this is a very good approach to essentially just saying, hey, here's this high price. You're going to get this specifically peculiar way to draft Guilds of Ravnica. And hey, you have access now to these cards. Oh, if you need a Teferi Hero Dominaria, you don't have to open like 10 cases or 10 boxes of Guilds of Ravnica. Here's this one specific set, and you'll get one Teferi out of it. That is actually legitimately very ethical, and I kind of have to give credits to Wizards on that. I mean, if this product was accessible for local game stores, this is something I wouldn't have much of a trouble about. Yes, the price is steep, don't get me wrong. And some of the cards here for paying an additional would basically amounts to $100 to $150 if we're kind of doing the estimate rough to just for some planeswalkers that are highly popular to some that are seeing fringe play. Yeah, the price itself is steep, but it makes sense. They're offering a high tier product, and if they offer it to local game stores, I think this would just legitimately go up without a hitch. There's the catch, though, and this is where everybody's been very split. You cannot get this through a local game store, this way to get these masterpieces. The way you have to go get these is actually buying the product off the Hasbro Online Store on October 3rd, if I remember correctly, for, as we mentioned before, the price of $250. And this legitimately has many people split. Like, the one thing that feels just weird right off the bat is many people have very mixed experiences using the Hasbro Online Store. I know some people who said their experience buying stuff off it was not very problematic. There's some that say it's very problematic. The quality of the Hasbro Online Store, to many people, is very varied, and getting specific products they want. So the factor that you're offering a high-value promo product for a very high price exclusively to a store that not many people use other than the very, very passionate people, like the people who like to buy the San Diego Comic-Con Planeswalker cards that they usually sell and such. Which kinda, I get the logic. I think they're thinking that people who want these masterpieces are people who are high into the game. They don't mind the price value. They don't mind the raise about to go get these cards. And they figured, in a sense, it's better just to offer it directly through their sales and just through their online outlet. Okay, makes sense. I get the logic. But still, and the part where I feel split is two things. Thing number one, this is a product that you cannot give people who are internationally the option to buy. People who play the game internationally, like in other countries and such, they won't have access to this product, which kind of stinks. Like, the way they have to go about it is probably, let's be frank, there are going to be bots that are probably going to buy this product, and it's going to be probably third-hand sales through, like, eBay or something like that, which is going to probably have a price markup. And the fact that they have to go through that roundabout way to have access to drafting this really cool type of format from what it looks like, and also have access to these new cards, that kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie, that really, really sucks. Also, the other thing is, and the one that also kind of bums me out a little bit, this is a promotion that local game stores would love. I pretty much have some friends who do work at local game stores as either employees or people who did start businesses and such. And they are really bummed that this promotion is not accessible. They don't have access to this type of product because that is a really good seller. Going into a new set is a seller, but also this could just be a high value product that they could sell at a good price and then actually just get a significant revenue with the product. Now, to be fair, they're still under the realms of what Wizard gives them, so makes sense. I get the logic of why they're testing this out. Trust me, I get it. The fact that these are, most importantly, there's the regular Timmy would probably not like this card. They probably will ooh at it, they'll probably like the art, they'll think it's pretty. But really, this is more sought after to high-end collectors. I get that logic, trust me, I get it. But, and I guess the one thing where I feel a little iffy about it, and this is where I'm going to go out on a mini kind of emotional, slightly, I'm not going to be totally irrational rant. It kind of feels kind of sad that it's kind of one of those things where it feels like, how do I put this? It just kind of stinks that we don't have access to this on supporting our local game store and not being able to access this type of product. Because having a memory, like, there are people who have really good memories of going to, like, drafting Amaket or drafting the Kaladesh Brock and then pulling, like, a Masterpiece Mana Crypt and trying to use it in draft and such. Now, can sometimes a Masterpiece card, specifically if it's a high-value card, can break a draft? Yes, and I think that's legitimately why they're trying this alternate product, is so that they keep draft balance. Which does actually give me a good indication that maybe we're going to have a really fun draft set for guilds if they're not worried about if they're worried about enough of the balance to make this into an alternate product, which that could be the case. That's a little speculation there, but that's what I'm thinking right off the bat. But there was just some legitimate cool value of just being able to go to a Friday Night Magic drafting or like opening a pack after you're done playing it and then pulling a really cool card and just having that memory. Like, I still remember having the memory of opening a pack like when I was at, let's see, what was one of the oldest stores I went to? One of them was Boom Comics and pulling a Skirting, or not Skirting Turn, what was it? It was the a Bloodstained Mire. I pulled actually a Bloodstained Mire Masterpiece, and that just felt really awesome. Felt cool to show the friends off, see the card, try to toy with it in Modern and such. There's just some realm of actually cool memory, and just having local game store community interaction with that. And the fact that we lose that opportunity just through an online system, I mean, don't get me wrong, there'll probably going to be some people who just will buy this product online and then go to the local game store to host a draft just with their friends to just have fun at it. I get that logic. Yeah, I'm kind of going on a rambling here, so I think I'm just going to make my little final points here. At least the next part, which this is the part where I'm going to go into speculation. Now, this part, I'm just going to say this right off the bat. Take what I'm about to say with a really, really big grain of salt. Because this could be totally right, this could be totally wrong, this could be insane, this could contradict any of the points that I was trying to mention before, so take what I'm about to say next with a really, really big grain of salt. I think this is WotC doing this alternate promotion. Great ethical product and such, in my personal opinion, but I think this is a test. I think this is them testing a peculiar thing that they're doing. Remember, we're getting kind of 3 sets of Ravnica. We're going to get one set, second set, which does the other factions, and then we're going to get a third set, where it's going to be the pretty much Planeswalkers against the Nicol Bolas. I think what they're doing is they're testing the exclusivity product with the first two Ravnica sets, just to see if there's a demand for this type of masterpiece and such. And if there's enough outcry for people to want to access this, I think there's a legitimacy that they might actually offer this product, or at least offer the opportunity to pull one of these specific masterpieces from this and what's probably going to be a masterpiece cycle in the next Guilds of Ravnica within the third set of the Ravnica block thing, because it kind of makes a weird amount of sense. Planeswalkers going against Nicol Bolas. Oh, hey, maybe we can have access to a history of one of these powerful Planeswalkers and such, and listen to their story and such. I mean, I could be totally, absolutely, 100% wrong on that, and it just turns out they're doing this just as a test to see if this is a more efficient way to go through doing this masterpiece cycle and help with them with design and seeing how sales are going, to hopefully see if the design of a set is actually what sells a set rather than just a very, very fancy shiny card. And that I can legitimately get. Overall, though, I figured I would just get my quick 2 cents off that. I mean, it's a love and hate thing with me with this card, with these promotion. On one hand, I think this is one of Wizards' most ethical approaches to this type of promotion, and I do think offering the players to have a chance to draft a very altered variation of this set and just trying to see if they can brew making a limited deck around a specific planeswalker they pull from their pack, that's legitimately kind of cool when you think about it. Especially since we have a lot of color fitting within Guilds of Ravnica, since we have the Shocklands and also the Gates coming back, so I like it from a product standpoint. I just feel like the way they're distributing this product using the online store exclusively, just, it kind of feels bad. It feels bad for international people who play the game, and it feels bad for local game stores who could use the support, but which a product like this could bring if they have limited quality and just sell this as an exclusive product. Now, I think they're doing this because they're concerned of markups, which completely understandable, especially with a high demand product. But who knows? I am legitimately torn because some of this art is really good. Specifically the Elspeth one. Just Elspeth in the Underworld fits so much thematically in the lore. It's mwah. But yeah, I think now I'm going on to the rambling, so I'll just stop here. I just figured people would want my 2 cents on this whole masterpiece shenanigans, so that's kind of my take on it. It's kind of stinky that you can't access it through a local game store, but if you really want this product, I don't think it's the end of the world to go through the Hasbro Online Store. It's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Overall, that's my 2 cents. Let's actually now get on to actually looking on the cards that are spoiled for Ravnica. Let's start that right off with the next video. I hope you all have a lovely day. This is LevDev, signing out temporarily.